Remember last week when I had to blur out that box? That was this box. I don't think anybody guessed it right. The new Sony ZV-1. At first glance, it kind of looks like the RX100, but it's very different because Sony decided to listen to us. This to me is the first camera that has been made specifically for the people of YouTube. Pretty much every other camera from every other camera manufacturer has been made for photography or filmmaking in the traditional sense, but with the rise of YouTube and vloggers, Sony has actually listened to us and tailor-made a camera for YouTubers. Let me explain. Full flip LCD screen, check. Nice zoom range of 24 to 70, check. 4K high quality image, check. Good autofocus, check. Slow motion, up to 960 frames per second, check. Small size, check. Built-in quality microphones and complementary windsock, double check. And it's supposed to be really easy to use, which we'll test out soon. Sony actually tried to listen to our gripes and our concerns and the things that we want and created this camera. A camera for content creators. And I just want to say right off the bat, this is a 1-inch sensor and I'm used to full frame big sensors, so it's very unlikely that somebody like me is gonna switch over to something like this. But that's because I'm so much more concerned with the look of the image, the look of my videos than other people because I come from a filmmaker background. Now that being said, that doesn't mean that I would never use this. There's definitely a time and place that I would love to use a tiny small camera like this. And there are tons of people that aren't as concerned with getting the best look in camera and more so just want to make cool videos and aren't as into the whole camera side of things. They just want it to be easy, convenient, and still get high quality videos. Okay, let's turn this sucker on and hit record. Now we are on the Sony ZV-1 and I'm actually keeping this in an auto profile because I think that's how you're gonna use it. They have this intelligent auto profile. So if you're gonna use a camera like this, you're most likely also gonna be using it in auto. So that's what I'm gonna test it out in and let's see how good it is. I'm also going to be using this new Vlogger Kit handle, which allows you to stop and start recording, take a photo and zoom, and then also has a little function button there. And it's a little tripod. So I'm going to go full on Sony Vlogger Kit and let's see how it looks. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea how long that took. It only shoots in like bursts, so it's like I think around 5-second bursts for slow motion, so it takes a long time. And then I realized that I could use the control, the Vlogger remote thing to like, I could put the camera down and then do my jump and then press it in the air. It took forever. So slow motion, it's also the first 30-degree weather day, so I am just sweating already. So one of the ways that Sony tried to make it easier for vloggers, content creators, YouTubers, whoever to use this camera is that it's supposed to prioritize the face for exposure. So if I'm, you know, in a bright scenario like this, it's supposed to expose for my face, and then if I go into this dark scenario where the background is still really bright, it's supposed to expose for my face instead of like the whole scenario, because normally it would be trying to protect those highlights in the background and my face would be super underexposed. Not sure how well it works, seems to be doing all right. It's a little bit slow, I think, but it seems to work. Another really interesting feature is, even if you're not like a filmmaker, you still know about like the shallow depth of field. You want that background to be out of focus. And they did that with one button. So, okay, I'm gonna enable it now. Watch the background. Now it's on. So with just one button, you can enable like a background defocus function, and you can also enable, if you want to show what's in the background, you can enable a clear function. So it's gonna make the f-stop really high, so even the background and your face show. So now we're on clear, and then we're gonna go to defocus. Pretty interesting. I also just want to mention that it's really incredible how smoothly the defocus function goes on. Like, okay, I'm gonna press it now. like it doesn't change the exposure much. Now I'm gonna go to clear. It stays like the exact same exposure. Defocus, clear. Defocus, clear. Very impressive, very impressive. And then one more interesting auto feature, this would probably apply for the beauty bloggers especially, there's an auto face soften feature. It's actually on by default, but you can turn it off. Let's test it out actually. Let's see if you can see any difference. I think right now it is on. Okay, right now I have it off. This is just no face skin softening going on. Now it's on the defaulted medium. And now I have it on the high setting. I hope the exposure didn't change a lot, but now you guys can see what it does. Another thing they're trying to solve for is having good audio, and so they have this 3 microphone capsule thing on the top, and like I showed you, it has this complimentary windscreen on there, which is really nice. One wheel is a good test, but I'm also going to test it with this little waterfall and see what the audio is like. I guess it's not a waterfall, it's more like a dam. Okay, so we're in this like waterfall dam area. It's really loud for me. I'm curious, what does it sound for you guys? Does it sound terrible, or is it actually decent? And now we'll try like a speed test. I'm gonna try to go pretty fast. I don't think I have any like wind. I don't think I have any wind denoiser or anything like that on right now. So it's just the little complimentary wind screen, little dead cat placed on top of the microphone right now that's doing all the work. And if this audio sounds good, that's actually a really big deal because it's a really big pain having a tiny camera but then a massive microphone on top to get decent audio. So if you can get it all in one setup, yeah, that's a win. Holy crap, I've hit the mother load of geese. Is that a protest? Concert going on? Some sort of social gathering, that's for sure. Some other nice little bonuses that they've tried to fix is there's a bigger record button nowadays. Sony's especially are notorious for having tiny little record buttons for video. Drives me nuts. This one has a nice sized record button for video. There's a little rubber grip on the side, makes it a little bit easier to handle. That's nice. And it turns on really fast, and actually it turns on as soon as you open the LCD screen, it turns on right away and really fast. So if you're like a daily vlogger and you want to capture something really quickly, very convenient. There's no 4K record limit, but they did say you might have to turn like the internal temperature warning thing onto high so that it doesn't shut off. And they're planning on making it so you could use this as a webcam also, connected to your PC or computer. So that would be really nice. I'm surprised more camera companies haven't done that. I feel like that would be a really big selling feature. And so far, this little vlogger kit handle grip thing with record button, zoom, and all that is pretty great. Just a side note here, the zoom is not very fast. Here's a zoom for you. I was trying to do a little clip and then I tried to watch it back and I got an internal temperature warning. So apparently 30 degrees Celsius is a little warm for this camera and it will overheat if you use it for a longer period of time. I've been filming for maybe, I want to say an hour now. Something to know. I don't know if they're going to fix that in firmware or not, but something to keep in mind. It is also a great excuse for me to come into the shade because I am just sweating already. Not complaining. I'm just saying, just stating. I very much like this warm weather. The ZV-1 can also shoot in S-Log2 and I believe S-Log3 and all those different profiles, but I feel like if you're using this camera, you're probably just gonna be using it in a standard picture profile. What is going on? There is a million geese. Okay, not a million, I'm exaggerating, but there is a lot of geese around here. There's also a couple different forms of stabilization. There's the normal steady shot, and then there's a new one that I haven't seen, but it crops in a little bit. They call it active. I think it's better, but it does crop in, so that's what it's defaulted. That's what I've been using the whole time. So you guys will know how good it is because that's what I've been using. Right now I have it on just the normal standard steady shot, and I feel like I would probably use it on this more just because it's so cropped in otherwise. Yeah, I think this is better. All right, back to the office. Let's talk about some of the things that I don't like as much. I'm sorry. 77. That's gonna turn on and you're gonna hear it, but I need it. Whew. Okay, here's what I don't like about the ZV-1. First off, and probably my biggest gripe, is that I don't think it's quite wide enough. I want it to be wider, and that's partly because it's a 1-inch sensor. It's a small sensor, so it's hard to get a wide frame like I'm getting right now on my EOS R, which is totally unfair because it's a full frame camera. But I feel like I need a little bit more. It kind of just feels like it's just my head all the time and you can't really see the background or my environment or any of that stuff. And for me, as a vlogger, YouTuber, that's pretty important. And the other gripe I would have, and that's with any Sony camera, is their menu systems. They are just really, really confusing. There's so many different places to go to, and it just takes a really long time, and especially when it's not a touch screen and you can't just get to the settings really quickly. The menus, Sony, you guys need to work on the menus. And lastly, the overheating issue. So I had it overheat, I think, 2 or 3 times, and that was within an hour and a half of shooting. It is very warm outside, but it could be warmer, and I didn't record any clips that were like 5-10 minutes long. I was only recording short little clips and it was still overheating. So that seems to be a little bit of an issue. Now, if you're shooting indoors and that kind of stuff, it's probably never gonna overheat. With all that being said, the ZV-1 seems like a really capable, great camera for a lot of people, especially if you're starting out in YouTube or you just don't know about cameras that much, or you don't care about all the technical stuff of cameras and learning how to use the manual settings and all that stuff. The ZV-1 would be a really great option for you. And I just want to say, even though Sony listened to us and did a lot of really great things like the flip LCD screen, the fact that it turns on automatically and turns off when you close the screen, the bigger record button, the complimentary little windscreen built in, a lot of great things. It's still not a perfect camera. No camera is a perfect camera, but it does serve a purpose, has value. I feel like every camera that comes out these days is a good camera. It's just a good camera for a certain group of people or for a certain kind of filmmaking. In this case, YouTube vlogging. Am I gonna be switching over to it? No. Would I use it? Definitely. Like if I'm in an airport or in a restaurant or places where a big vlogging rig just kind of looks stupid and awkward, this could be really, really handy. I'm so hot right now. My brain is, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say anything. Oh, the price? What's the price? The price. I think it was, the price is, it is $799, which is pretty great for what you're getting, not including this little grip thing. The camera is $799, and actually there's a special introductory pricing of $749.99 until May 28th, so that's just for a couple days. So if you're planning on getting this and you want to save $50, that's worth it. The Vlogger accessory kit costs $149.99. It comes with a memory card also, and it too has a $50 off introductory rate if you buy both the camera and Vlogger accessory kit. I think that's it for me. I think I'm gonna go home. I'm gonna blast the air conditioning in my car. I was gonna say I'm gonna jump in the pool, but our building's pool is of course closed. All the amenities are closed. I've completely forgot for a second that we are living in this new age. Okay, I'm gonna head home now. Kai, you wanna see my new camera?
Yeah.
You wanna hold it?
Yeah. It's not so big.
Wow, Kai, it's like the perfect size for you.
That's a close-up. You gotta hold it up a little bit farther. Just like that. Okay, now what do you wanna say, everybody?
Every day. Have fun.
Okay, see you later.
Later. Have fun.
Bye.